Thursday Night Football Kickoff Show. Glad to have you all here. It's time to break down all of today's NFL news as it relates to Week 6 and beyond. Talk about, showing Ayuk on screen right here, talking about Ayuk, Deebo Samuel, Jordan Mason. We got Kenny Walker maybe exploding in this game because his head coach and staff says we need to do a better job of getting him the damn football. Ryan Grubb's offense is pretty damn good. I think the Niners are in shambles, but are still a very good team. This could be a very good Thursday night affair, although Thursday night games do disappoint on average. But we are here to break it all down. I'm here to give you all the news like I do Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, every single Monday through Friday. But this time we're live a little bit early, a wee bit early on Thursday night so we can tackle everything that we need to tackle. Super chats, etc., etc. The Fantasy Football Show. Kenneth Walker, George Kittle, Jordan Mason, Deebo, Brandon Ayuk, Bijan Robinson, Nathaniel Hackett, no longer the play caller. Garrett Wilson maybe to the moon. Breece Hall definitely to the moon. That show begins right now. Davante Adams maybe to the Bills rumors. That show begins right now.
Show.com studios.
It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live!
Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
From the FantasyFootballShow.com news desk, here is your breaking news.
Appreciate every single one of you filing in to the building tonight as we do a little kickoff show party for this Thursday night game between the Seattle Seahawks and the San Francisco 49ers. Now, I think Kenneth Walker's going to the moon. I think Jordan Mason's going to the moon. I think the running games are both going to the moon. I think one of Ayuk or Deebo will probably ball out. I'm going to say Deebo. I say there's a little rotation thing going on here in San Francisco. A lot of people discounting Deebo Samuel, and they probably shouldn't. Make sure you watch this video that is up on the channel a little later. Buying Deebo before this game kicks off is a smart maneuver, my guys. Look at these players, the bye week boys over here, AJ Brown and Davante Smith, the injured or on a bye week or both boys over in the corner here, the CeeDee Lamb isolation buy low up here. Oh, Smitty, no one's trading CeeDee Lamb. Okay, Bob, the world revolves around you, Bob. Harrison, Olave, Deebo, Dell, Worthy. Look at our boy Dell. Dunze, and even Garrett Wilson needs to be potentially on this list, and I talk about that in the show. But Deebo Samuel, we need to go buy Deebo Samuel on the low before this game kicks off. You got very little time, young man, very little time, because Deebo Samuel is at a discount right now because he didn't deliver what fantasy owners wanted in week number 5. A poor little outing made somebody sad, and they were a knee-jerk Ned said, I'm done with Deebo. Are we worried about Deebo? Deebo had a bad game. We worried about Deebo? This report here, so this is a screenshot of Kay Adams talking with former fullback for the Raiders, discussing this situation about Davante Adams. And he said, I'm a little close to the situation. He tells Kay Adams. In regards to this, and he says there might be a surprise team that gets in the mix here and makes a big push for Davante. And the reason I think this is important and of note is that this is a former player, right? He's obviously saying he's close to the situation. He's not afraid to put that out there, and he'd be on blast if he was wrong, because Davante Adams puts a lot of people on blast when they speak for him and they shouldn't be. And he's saying, and this is particularly interesting thing, because what's happening right now, shakeup in the coaching room for the potential suitor, the main suitor of the New York Jets for this Davante Adams trade is now in a pause or slowdown because of the coaching shakeup. And there's like almost a pushback. Okay, we need to figure this out first, and then we need to go get Davante Adams. we'll maybe wait when he's $900,000 cheaper next week. Right now he costs about $12 million. Next week he'll cost $11 million. That is why some teams are waiting. But this young man, former fullback, former Raider, says, guess what? The team that might be involved didn't say it, and Kay Adams says, does it rhyme with, she said a phrase that rhymes with the Bills, and he had a expression, and he stepped back. He's like, you're good, or whatever he said to her. It sounds like the Bills are potentially a potential suitor here, and that is exciting because we know the Bills, and I don't necessarily want it for Keon Coleman in one sense, but I think that Keon Coleman, maybe to develop under Davante Adams, is better for his long-term value anyway. Maybe getting him with the second best corner on him, maybe double teams on Adams opens up huge long touchdowns. Think of how good Mooney is, and he's not the number one on his team, but he's almost a wide receiver too. A lot of people would say he is a wide receiver too. So maybe Coleman does thrive in a Davante Adams wide receiver room. And not to mention what this does for Josh Allen, who everybody and their mother's like, hey, he might not return to form. Josh Allen's the best buy low in fantasy, period. And if you think Josh Allen can't be bought low, just go to my Josh Allen buy low video and take a little gander at the comment section and note how many people are coming at me saying, Smitty, he's not the same quarterback anymore. Smitty, he doesn't have the wide receivers. He's not going to be good. All good things must come to an end, one commenter said. The poor sap. And so you got all these people punching me here, and then people going, Smitty, no one's trading Josh Allen. He's an absolute stud. I need to make a shirt where I'm getting punched from both sides. And maybe that's maybe I'll screenshot this. And I need to make a shirt because I'm literally getting hit from both sides, and both sides are acting like the other side doesn't exist. It's hilarious. That's my day. That's what I go through all day, every day. Smitty, Tank Dallas, nothing. Tank Dell, Smitty, I can't buy Tank Dell for anything right now. Smitty, Tank Dell's garbage. This isn't going to change. It's on both sides. It's on both sides. It's crazy. But anyway, Davante Adams getting brought up on the Kay Adams show. Kay talking about the Tay, and we might see some movement there. So stay tuned to that. Bijan Robinson pops up on the injury report with the hamstring, but a lot of people are saying things like, oh, is he not going to play? Like we got to understand he's been playing with this, and not every hamstring injury is the same. When you hear hamstring or groin or calf, everybody just absolutely goes crazy. Or it used to be ACL, right? Remember Breece Hall? ACL, Smitty, ACLs. Don't tell me about ACLs. I know about ACLs. I'll tell you about ACLs. Okay, Steve? ACLs are case by case. Is there meniscus damage? Is there an MCL or LCL damage? Is the player under 23, 24 years old? How's the progress? Breece Hall, Smitty, you got to wait a whole year. Breece Hall was magnificent. Adrian Peterson was magnificent. Saquon Barkley was not. It's case by case. So every hamstring injury is different too. He's been playing through this. And teams, unlike the Niners, so every coach but Kyle Shanahan is required to give all of the information. And if he's sitting out because they want to keep his leg fresh, then he's sitting out, and that's that. It's not like he's being ruled or deemed out. Now, could he? Sure. Could this get worse? Sure. We don't know, but I'm not concerned about this yet. And I think a lot of people are trying to just navigate this thing like they've navigated every other injury, as if every injury is the same. So stay tuned on more Bijan Robinson news. This one is wild. Anthony Richardson oblique practice in full on Thursday. And it sounds like this team is leaning toward playing him. We'll have to find out, more later in the week on this one. But wow, you can't blame him. I know a lot of people are gonna say, yeah, you can. But you can't give up on a kid who all of us, almost 95% of the people watching right now, through 4 weeks of football, we all thought this kid is going to be electric and be good. We cannot just walk away from him like a lot of people wanted to on Josh Allen's rookie year, when he was no better than Richardson in terms of throwing the football. We have to be careful long term, not to say that he can't develop. Am I worried? Hell yeah. Is he out there and on waivers, and do I pick him up as my backup? Sure. Yeah, it depends on the situation. Who's my other backup? I don't need to hold 3 quarterbacks in certain leagues, or I might in certain leagues. Depends on how big your bench is, but I mean, this is still a prospect, a guy that can run for 2 touchdowns any given game. So we have to keep tabs on this situation. But Nathaniel Hackett removed as the offensive coordinator, with passing game coordinator Todd Downing. This is great news. Nathaniel Hackett no longer calling plays. We've got Salah, who doesn't have a backbone, in my opinion, for certain things. Does he sound like a great guy? Robert Salah sounds like an amazing person. I want to make sure I pause and preface that, because this is not hatred toward Robert Salah. I got hatred toward nobody. Robert Salah sounds like an amazing person, a great motivator. Sauce Gardner is broken up about the firing, and he says, in a weird way, we're still doing this for Robert Salah, like winning for him. That's amazing. That's great, got a great players coach, great support from these players. Aaron Rodgers said he's thrown aback by the firing. But Robert Salah's inability to understand the QB situation last year, to not bring in a Fields for pennies on the dollar to back up Aaron Rodgers, and feared that it would make Aaron Rodgers upset. Look at the Falcons. They don't care. They don't care. Zach Robinson doesn't care. Raheem Morris doesn't care what Kirk Cousins thinks about drafting Penix Jr. They said, this is our thing, not yours, Kirk. Kirk, you work for us, and we're going to do what's right for the team. And everybody making fun of the Atlanta Falcons for backing up their QB. Let's see how well this works out for this team long term. I think it's going to be an amazing move. Look how good it looks so far. They're protected. They got the safest, not the best, but the safest QB room in the National Football League, with Penix Jr. backing up Kirko. And Robert Saleh didn't do a good job of that. Didn't try and do what I believe the Falcons did brilliantly, even though people made fun of it, and they still do. I don't think anybody knows ball if they think that was a horrible move by the Falcons to draft Michael Penix Jr., the future QB of this team, once in a generation type of QB, in my opinion. The only reason he's not the generational talent of this class, in my opinion, is because it was JD5 and we called that one, didn't we?
Let him cook.
Nathaniel Hackett removed. What does this do for our boy Breece Hall? I'll tell you what it does. It makes Breece Hall go from probably 8 feet tall, I don't know, to maybe 8.5. Breece Hall goes to the mother freaking moon. Breece Hall now has Hackett out of the way. Hackett's been a problem for this man, Breece Hall. Hackett hasn't made him a focal point of the receiving game. This guy's capable of 80 receptions. He still could get 75, 80 receptions this year now that this move's been made. Garrett Wilson. Where the hell's Garrett Wilson been? I'll tell you where he's been. On the back burner. On the back burner, awaiting somebody to get some balls and say, hey, remove Hackett as the play caller, offensive coordinator. If Salah's not going to do it, if Salah's not going to have the balls, no offense, again, good guy, amazing guy, okay? But if he doesn't have the balls to say, you know what, bring Fields on over, Red Rover. If he doesn't have the balls to say, Hackett, you're done. Guess what? Moves need to be made. Moves were made, heads rolled, this team isn't where it needs to be, and now at least it has a shot. And Garrett Wilson probably goes up tremendously in value with this change, and Breece Hall as well. So very excited about what is going to transpire now going forward. And Breece Hall, gee, I wonder what he is. Oh, he's a buy low on the running back. I don't have the running back board. It's going to look all cluttered here. Breece Hall right there. It's all cluttered because I don't have it organized yet. But yeah, Breece Hall is one of the best buy lows in fantasy football right now, period. Josh Allen, Breece Hall, Cooper Kupp on a buy. We've got CeeDee Lamb, even though he's not dirt cheap, he still shouldn't be attainable, and he is if the owner that owns him is scared to death about their situation. We've got some of the best buy lows in fantasy would include Tyreek Hill right now, Nico Collins using bench clutter, and that you're maybe not using. Maybe you picked up Hunt, you don't need him. Maybe you got Deontay, or maybe you've got a Godwin that you struggle to put in, and you're like, I got Mooney now. And I'm not saying Mooney necessarily replaces Godwin, but he does if you can get Nico and say, I'll start Mooney for 4 weeks, and then I get Nico, I'll do that. We've got so many good buy lows. Harrison Jr., a buy low, fantastic buy low. Go watch that video. That video is up waiting for you after this show is over. So hack it out. Fantastic news. ETN. Guys, let me just tell you right now, I'm a big Bigsby guy. I told you to full load drop on Bigsby. I don't think that was a mistake whatsoever. Kareem Hunt, Bigsby, and Chase Brown are 100% full load drop guys right here. So know that. But I will say this, and I'm going on record to say it again. I said it last week. I'm going to say it again. This has the makings of a 180-degree turnaround. I'm not saying it will. I'm not saying Bigsby doesn't win leagues. He certainly could. But the thing you have to understand, I want to hammer home very, very much tonight, is that ETN has win a league value and Bigsby has win a league value. They unfortunately both have near equal win a league value. And this man doesn't have the momentum Bigsby does. 100-yard game, looked phenomenal. This guy's been banged up. He hasn't looked good, but he has been banged up. And there's a world that I live in that I believe all of you don't realize that you're maybe going to live in very soon, where something happens, whether it's a Bigsby injury, call me Nostradamus or Smitty Damus, whatever, whether there's an injury involved that puts him right back in the driver's seat, or he has been banged up, it's been quiet, we've all been speculating, playing Monday morning quarterback, saying, look at Bigsby, when the coaching staff might be saying, you know, we love Bigsby. And they said this, really, in so many words. We love Bigsby. He's been doing great. But ETN's our guy. ETN's the guy. And they said that. ETN's the running back one. ETN's their starter. He's been banged up. Bigsby's been great. But they might be thinking, look, we've seen this man do what Bigsby's doing. We know what Bigsby did. He could do and maybe do better if he was healthy. There is a world where ETN wins leagues. If he gets cut, you make sure to grab him. If you can buy low on ETN in a 2-for-1 deal where you're swapping kind of equal players and you get ETN thrown in, this could be your saving grace move. It might not do anything. It might amount to zero. But at the worst case, he's getting 40% of the work, I imagine, something along that line, if worst case scenario happens. But I'm telling you right now, if you're struggling at RB and you have nowhere to go, this might be the cheapest move to go after. Because if Bigsby got hurt, he's a top 6 to 10 running back. If Bigsby doesn't get hurt, he still could be a top 6 to 10 running back. And in a worst case scenario, he's probably going to be a little less watered down Monty in a Gibbs Monty type of environment. So understand what I'm saying here. Bigsby's still an amazing grab. Having both of them is fantastic. And I think that ETN is an exciting player to have on your roster. That's all I'm going to say. Joe Mixon returned to practice Thursday. That's good for trade value. Get rid of him. I'm not saying he can't do well. I still like Joe Mixon based on what he did in the early part of the season. I mean, God, he looked great. Let's just be honest. This system, this offense, it needs him too, right? With Collins out, they might really need him back. But I still think I'd sell high because he's 85 years old and he got hurt right away. Neighbors, this is horrible news. Malik Neighbors did much less in Thursday's practice than on Wednesday's. It's very much trending in the direction that Neighbors sits another game. And I think that makes him a buy low. You just saw him on my buy low list. It doesn't scare me long term, but it certainly worries me for those of you that can't afford an L right now. And it's that fear that I can read and test the temperature on that makes me know that you can go get Neighbors in a trade, because I'm seeing the panic. I'm seeing 1-win teams, 2-win teams, even 3-win teams panic like crazy and send me screenshots of offers they've been either given or they've sent, and I'm like, take it down. That is not making sense at all. It's valuing Neighbors outside of the realm of wide receiver ones. And I know that some of you might say, in my league, Smitty, I'm so good at fantasy football, my league would never trade Neighbors. You know what's funny is how many DMs I get on the every hour. I get a DM or an email or a text from a buddy or somebody saying, bro, I can't believe, look what I just got Neighbors for. Look what I just got Josh Allen for. Look what I just got for Jordan Mason. I got Breece Hall straight up. Look what I just got here. On all these, nobody's trading these players, Smitty. Try it. Look at the comments of any video where you think that that's the case. James Cook, foot, toe, did not practice Thursday. Ray Davis, Ty Johnson. Ty Johnson could be the surprise guy that gets more work, but Ray Davis is a player that we've been touting all year long. And you need to make sure Ray Davis is on your list. Ray Davis is right here. He probably rises up. Honestly, I like him more than Dowdle. I like him more than the 87-year-old Tracy rookie running back. But Tracy's nice, but his offense isn't, electric. So I think Davis is here. Ty Johnson, I'll put Ty Johnson on here, but assume that he's around that Irving territory there. But definitely need to keep an eye on that. Luke Musgrave head coach Pat LaFleur told reporters that Luke Musgrave ankle is more likely going to be placed on injured reserve. And as I told you before, injured reserve, whenever you hear that, it's usually 100% like executed upon. It's never really kicked around and then pulled back. That's great for Kraft. Kraft is a league winner. Look, I'll admit, I said Luke Musgrave was going to be the guy, but that's on certain predictions. But we've touted the duo, the handcuff and best ball all offseason. There's no more drafted tight end on record. Every time we did a draft, there's no more tight end combo or tight end period drafted more than the Musgrave Kraft in my best ball drafts. Like at the end of the draft, it was cuffing Kraft to Musgrave because it's really the situation that we're buying in. If I could go back in time, I wish I could have hammered home the Kraft point better. That's on me. Even though if you're here watching every show, you know how I felt about him. You know how I felt about the duo. You know how I felt about the passing attack, the situation. But obviously Musgrave can't stay healthy. We thought Kraft was going to be the banged up one because he had 2 injuries in the offseason and he couldn't get healthy. But it is Kraft that's blowing up. And that news right there that Musgrave's going on IR makes Kraft go to the moon. Fields, all indications point to Fields getting his 6th consecutive start. I don't even know why this is a question. It makes me question Tomlin. Even though Tomlin gets it done, it's just, what in the hell is going on? Downs, toe, did not practice Thursday. A.D. Mitchell is a sneaky wide receiver grab. I'm telling you, there's a reason we loved him all offseason. Don't just discard him because he hasn't done anything yet. Same thing with Coleman. Same thing with other players. Look at Chase Brown. Even though he's not a rookie, he was discarded because he didn't do what we wanted him to do, what we said he would do, what we predicted him to do in week 1, so people ran away. They ran away. Tank Dell. Oh, Tank Dell. Look at Tank Dell now. Look at Tank Dell now. Look at Tanky now.
One Tank Dell special, please. Coming right up.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, JT did not practice Thursday. It's trending very much in the direction that he misses week number 6. So know that. Let's get to the super chats. $20 haulers always get immediate attention. You know the drill. So let me circle through here. Let me try and get some of these short ones out of the way, and then I'm going to go in order which they've received. Flex, Davante Smith, JSN, and Tolbert. I'm going to go Davante Smith very, very easily. This one here, Drop Jennings for Hutchinson. I have Nico. I'll probably say no. Ethan, appreciate you. 10-man league, just traded my T and Chuba for Debo and Bijan. I think you ripped him off, and he'll probably never be your friend again. MHJ and Ramondre for my CD. If you like losing, trade CD Lamb away. If you like winning, keep CD. That's what I'm talking about. Everyone says CD's not tradable. Look what he almost did. We're saving lives here. He almost traded CD Lamb, and I like MHJ. Deontay Johnson and Dobbins for Tyreek. See what I'm saying? Yeah, go get Tyreek. What are we doing? What are we doing back there? Rate my trade. I own Jamar Chase. Jamar for Hurts, MHJ, and Debo. I think Hurts, MHJ, and Debo probably win that trade. Not sure what your quarterback situation looks like, but that's a boatload, bro. Start Bigsby or JSN. I go Bigsby. He's still a league winner, bro. Go after Allen and Lamb using Fields, London, and Jacobs. Yes, if you like winning, definitely use those guys to get that combo. Mahomes, Hall, Achane, Mason, Worthy, JMO, 1 and 4. Let me attack that in a minute, Jay. Let me see if I got any questions that are related to this kickoff here, and then I'll go through all these. My Jacobs, Worthy. Okay, I'll definitely. There's no players going in that one, so let me go ahead and put that over there, pal. Appreciate you. Let's see here. Let's start off with this one. Fields, Grendo, Connor, Benson, Allen, St. Brown. Any moves, thoughts? Okay, Alec, I'm going to come to you right after I get to any pertinent questions for this game and kickoff right here. Hi, Smitty. Just traded Wilson and Cup. Wilson for Cup. Second guessing yourself? No, I'd rather have Cup. Easy call. Very good trade. Very good trade. Alec, appreciate you with the super chat. Minecraft and Chase Brown Pickens for Drake London. I would say I like Drake London's side, bro, by a lot. I have Kincaid, Debo. Yeah, that's a good move. Very good move, bro. Very good move. Pick 2, Debo, Evans, and Smith. I'm going to go Evans and probably Debo. But I think you need to make a trade, young man, because you can't be dealing with that every week. You're gonna get screwed, 50% of the time. Pick 2, DK, Ayuk, Tank, JMO. You got to go DK and probably Ayuk, but you also need to make a trade. This could go any which way, bro. Ayuk's hard to sit after that big game, and I'm never sitting DK. He's just a stud. So there's that. K9, Fields K9 or Lawrence at Superflex. I'm going to go Fields, bro, but it depends a lot on your scoring. Like if K9's biggest games rival Fields' biggest games, I'd probably go K9. But if the scoring is such that the quarterbacks are dominating the scoring, which is usually the case, then I'd definitely go with the QB, and I think Fields is a good play. Trade Ferguson for Kraft. I'd probably rather have Ferguson, bro. I think I like him a lot. I like him a lot. Kraft, but I think we're going a little too crazy there. Just traded Javonte Williams and Stevenson for Bijan Robinson. The veto court had a vote, and it passed. I like that trade. I think you did great on that, bro. Fantastic job. It's wild that those trades can happen. Smitty, would you trade Reed for Monty if you have Gibbs? I almost don't do it unless I need the running back support, because I love Reed about as much. But yeah, I'm okay with making that trade. I think if you want a running back, you should go after Monty for that reason. This one here, Bijan is being offered. I have more. Okay, let me come to you, man, after I get to these pertinent questions for this game right here. Smitty, I got Kamara, Bijan, Mason, and Walker. Start 3. I'm going to go probably Kamara. Bro, look, Doc, you're going to get this wrong constantly. You're going to get this wrong constantly. I don't know how you're going to do this. How are you going to do this week in and week out, bro? Like, I don't even want to get in this boat with you because I'm going to tell you the wrong answer. I'm just telling you that right now. How are you going to win this every week? You can't. Bijan's playing the Giants. He's got an injury, but he's playing the Giant. Like, we don't know. Like, you got to make a decision now to waste 2 of those spots right now. And then what if Bijan? What if you don't and you wait and Bijan doesn't play? You got to make a trade though. I would say give me Kamara. Good Lord, bro. Chat, can we vote on this one? Are we going Mason and Walker tonight and then leaving it up to one spot, Bijan Kamara, in the next contest? Can we give Doc some help? Please vote. What three RBs are you playing, please? Okay, thanks, Doc. Appreciate you. My wife traded Mooney plus Juju for BT. Thoughts? I think it's a fantastic trade. Tell her she's better at fantasy football maybe than you are, Matt. Tyreek and Kirko for Kyron and Davante Smith. I would take Kyron and Davante Smith in a heartbeat, but it obviously depends on your QB situation, and I assume that's not super flex. Start JSN or wait on Mooney. I'd probably go Mooney, bro, the way he's getting volume. DK, Higgins, and Jacobs for Amon Ra and Breece Hall. I'm going to go DK, Higgins, Jacobs for I'm on Rob Brees Hall by a country mile. Not even close. Traded Mooney, Worthy for Olave Dell. I'd rather have Olave Dell by quite a bit. This one here, start one, JSN, Downs, Akers. I'm going to start probably. Look, Downs is hurt, so you kind of got to go JSN. Just traded Connor and Sutton for Brees and Pittman. What do you think I'm going to say on that? I think that should be. I don't even agree in vetoes, and that should be vetoed. That's horrible. That's collusion. Pick one flex, Kraft, Ridley, or Pierce. I'm going to go with Kraft, my guy. And then the last super chat, and the rest are going to get answered after these over here because I'm caught up on the pertinent ones. Wandell, Kincaid, Mason for Chase Brown, Reed, and Bowers, Hunt. Wandell, Kincaid, Mason, Murray for Chase Brown, Reed, Bowers, Hunt. I'm probably going to go with the top half of that, bro. Top half for sure. Okay, Steve from accounting, you're last, so you go down here, my guy. Appreciate you. All right, let's go over to this one. Bijan is being offered. I have more Terry, T. Higgins, Monty. He also has Worthy, Shakir, 2 and 3. Running backs are Kyron, Achane, Cook up a trade. I guess Bijan, I'm going to give Scary Terry or T. Higgins. I'll probably give Terry and I don't know. The problem is if you go Monty and one of these guys, you almost are giving too much value. You know, like DJ Moore and Monty for Bijan, I kind of want something else just because the market commands it. Scary Terry and Monty, I kind of want something else. Some would rather have Monty than Bijan right now. So I think you just say, give me Monty for Bijan swap, or you try and give him like Terry, T. Higgins, or more. And if you have to throw in two of those guys, you have to get somebody back, bro. There's just the market commands it. 3 and 2, 0.5 PPR Fields, AR5, Jacobs, Mason, Garendo, Connor, Benson, Braylon Allen, St. Brown, AJB. Any thoughts? I'd probably say with this squad, you're a little careful with your QB situation. Buy Mahomes low if you can. You got Mason and Garendo, but no CMC, so you want to maybe shop Mason for Brees Hall. The news today doesn't help you. I told you to trade him all week. Trade for Brees Hall all week using Mason. That's why I put a video up. I think it's too late to get it now, but you could certainly try. But, you know, maybe you could still get like a potential RB like Achane or something. So Mason for Achane, I would do that. St. Brown, Ayuk, AJB. I personally would sell Ayuk before this game, but you got 2 minutes, so you're not going to be able to get it done. Just because I think his value is tremendously high. Like Connor and AJB would have been nice. I don't think I want to sell AJ Brown or St. Brown, so it was only to sell Ayuk. You could send an offer though, and it could get accepted and just get transaction can go through next week. But getting something along the lines of like a St. Brown type player for that Ayuk or not a St. Brown, a CeeDee Lamb or a Kyron or a Gibbs using Connor and Ayuk, and I think that you may not get that, 5 times out of 10, but you might get it 1 out of 15. So, it's not an easy trade to pull off. My Jacobs, Worthy, Davis for Bijan. See what I'm saying? Like, look at this trade right here. Jacobs, Worthy, Davis. I love Worthy. I like Jacobs. But for Bijan, you can do that. And that's a good move. It's not scraps, but it's definitely not the core of your team. Mahomes, so Bijan could be. And I think Bijan, if he's healthy, and he seems like it's iffy right now, but I'm not worried. I'm not that concerned. I think he could smash 2 touchdown game potentially for Bijan. 1 and 4, Mahomes, Hall, Achane, Mason, Hill, Worthy. I'd love to trade Mason for Hill. You already have that done. So maybe MHJ, maybe Mason for MHJ, maybe Mason for a wide receiver is in order. Let me see if I can pull up some ADP rankings here that might assist with this. So as far as RB, so Mason for Kenneth Walker right now. I would do that. Achane. You already have Achane. Let's go wide receiver though, because you have running back on lock. I would say AJ Brown. Mason for AJ Brown. Mason for Nico and something. Like you have to get something solid though. Like an ETN. Like ETN, I would use ETN for a lot of trades right now. It's just an attractive package because he's not going to weigh down the trade much to where you're not getting a big name player. BT plus 25 mid first for Jamar Chase. I'd take Jamar Chase. I love BT, but I take Jamar Chase all day. Traded A.J. Brown and Bijan for Kyren and Neighbors. I love that. Kyren and Neighbors is the better side, but they're both great. Traded Jordan Mason for Kupp 4-1. That's another one. So for that guy that had the other question, who to trade Jordan Mason for, go get Kupp, go get A.J. Brown, and if you have one of these guys, just ignore that player. Marvin Harrison Jr., obviously CeeDee Lamb, but you have to give up more with Mason. But Kupp is a fantastic player to go get. I'd trade Mason for Kupp all day long because Kupp's going on a bye. He's not even necessarily injured anymore. And when he comes back, he'll be bye week free. Got offered Etienne, Tank in London, and Kraft for Juju, Evans, and Brees. Yeah, I'm not doing that. I like Brees enough, bro. Evans, God, no. Evans and Brees, no. Evans and Brees is crushing that other side. Don't even dare do that, bro. Don't mention that again, please. Jared, a $2 hauler, says, my Josh Jacobs and MHJ for Achane and Debo. Take Achane and Debo before this game kicks off, bro. Smash it. Smash it. We got all those super chats in just in the nick of time. Just smashed it in the nick of time. AR5, we already got that news out of the way. God, we did good. 35 minutes. I did a gauntlet of news. We handled all the super chats before kickoff. I haven't said a single lineup, though. You know, people wonder, like, how I run all the teams I do. The thing is, I don't do it. I'm not a very good owner, and I have like 2 or 3 leagues that I make damn certain I set my lineup for, and I'm sorry if this sounds offensive, but the other leagues come secondary. You know, like, I try and do my best, but I don't have time. I got to cut down to like 2 or 3 leagues. I have 12 leagues. If like news broke right now that DK Metcalf wasn't going to play, I can't go with because I owe you. I work for you. I don't work for my leagues. Okay, I would literally have 2 or 3 leagues that would start DK injured. I just can't do any more. I can't do any more leagues. I can't. I got to cut them down. Sigma, appreciate you. Sup, Smitty. 12-man PPR. I wouldn't be able to go in and set anything right now. I'm not going to pause my show. It's more important to me than the league. If DK was all of a sudden out, I would be screwed in all those leagues. That's how I need an assistant. I need somebody. I need a lineup person to just sit there and sit next to me in a chair in the corner and just work on my teams all day long. 2 flex roster: Josh Allen, Mason, Connor, Chase, Brown, Amon-Ra, Jettas, Godwin. Like the team. Any moves? Godwin and Connor. Godwin and Mason. Go after Kyren. Go after Gibbs using that higher package. And then if it's Connor and Godwin, I think that gets you, like, you could try for a Lamb, but you could definitely get guys in the range of, like, you know, St. Brown types who you already have. But it's tough because the drop-off is kind of like Hill and somebody. I'd definitely trade Godwin for Hill. I'd definitely trade Mason for Hill. I'd definitely get Godwin involved if I get another player back. Let's say they had an ETN. I again go to the ETN owner and see if there's a 2-for-2 that Godwin and Mason could get done for you. I really like that idea of bringing ETN into the fold. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. If it does, you win a league. Trade away Achane Wright and Brian Thomas Jr. to get Bowers, ETN, and Bigsby. No. Absolutely not. Bowers, ETN, and Bigsby doesn't even come close to Achane and Brian Thomas Jr., bro. You're overthinking that. You're way overthinking that. Anonymous, appreciate you. JJ for Cook and Adams. No. I'll be losing 10 points. No, absolutely not. I'm not even going to read the rest of the question because it doesn't matter. Like, the team doesn't matter. You don't trade JJ for Cook and Adams. You don't know what Adams is. It's an interesting proposition to own him, but not at that cost, bro. Drake May starting now. What are the Pats' wide receiver values? I don't think they're good. I think Drake May is going to be in way over his head. I hope I'm wrong. I could be wrong. I'll admit if I'm wrong, but my sense is that he was kind of nervous, wasn't ready. I just don't see how it's going to work great for him. He has no support. It's not really even his fault. I hope they don't break him, make him unusable. My Kyren for DK and Tank, I'd rather have Kyren. Kyren's top 1, 2, or 3 overall pick in fantasy right now. Trade MHJ and Pollard and Kincaid for Achane and AJB, or MHJ and Waddle for AJ Brown. I wouldn't trade MHJ and Waddle for AJ Brown. MHJ and AJ Brown and MHJ are close, but trading MHJ and Pollard and Kincaid for Achane and Brown, I like that move a lot. I'd definitely do that trade. Just Sherman just got Connor. Trade Spears for Benson to the Tony Pollard owner. I would definitely take Benson over Spears. And, neither will be useful right now. So, you can do that move and then judge it in a week and go, Benson's not doing anything. He's not supposed to. He's a sleeping giant that may never be awoken. You know what I'm saying, bro? Appreciate you all. We got kickoff here very soon. Can't wait for this game to kick off. Yeah, May's going to get rocked. And Houston's a good D, bro. It's not like it's going to be something where he goes out there and starts threading the needle. I mean, I like May, but he's so far behind these other quarterbacks. Have way too much depth. My team is Josh Allen. Thank you for the $20 hauler, by the way.
Too much.
My boy. 8-man have way too much wide receiver depth. Team is Allen, Josh, Jamar Chase, and Justin Jefferson. DJ Moore, BT Reed. I'm trading Connor and Mixon and Brooks with DJ Moore or Reed, especially DJ Moore. You listed DJ Moore twice. You listed Brooks twice. Yeah. So traded London for Connor before the blow up. Yeah. I guess I can see that happening now in retrospect, but I would trade the combo of Reed or DJ Moore with Connor, Mixon, or Brooks. Any combos, bro, for Hill, MHJ, Kenneth Walker, JT injured, Bijan, obviously Breece Hall, obviously those guys. Throw a bunch of those at the wall, bro. One of them is going to stick. Send 15 offers, I bet you get one. But if you send 3 or 4 offers, you're going to get 0. You need at least send 15 to 20 offers to get one really good trade to go through. That's just the laws of fantasy football physics. Dynasty wide receiver room is amazing, but it's Kupp, Puka, Hill, Rice, and Collins. Should I ride out the season and look to the second half? Yeah, I'm not in Dynasty, bro. I'm not trading this room away. Unless somebody wants the now value of Kupp, but you got to wait till he comes back before that's even a possibility. Because no one's going to trade for him on spec and give you enough. But I definitely am not moving that in Dynasty, bro. That's a phenomenal room. I got offered to get Debo, but trading away Kareem Hunt and Waddle. That's okay. I don't hate it, but Waddle's like nothing right now, but could he return to being something very quickly? Sure. And Kareem Hunt, you could argue is an equal to Debo, but what if Pacheco comes back? I'd probably rather have Debo. Diggs and Kraft for Juju and Evans. I'd rather have Juju and Evans, mainly because I'd rather have Evans. Evans is the best player in the deal, and I think that's selling him as if he's not an elite player, and he still is. Full PPR 14-team league. Wilson, Kittle for Davante Smith and Laporta. Davante Smith and Laporta for me, but it's arguable, especially with the shakeup in the coaching room, bro. Definitely feel like it's more of a close call, but I give me Smith and Laporta. I think Laporta is very undervalued. It's pretty even though. It's pretty close. Yeah. Game's almost starting here. All right, what else we got? Diggs may face the top corner now with no Nico. That's certainly going to be the case where, Dell's going to see some nice looks that he wasn't getting. And like my analogy before still stands. It's kind of like breaking your right arm and you're right-handed, and you're learning how to use your left hand. I think without Collins, who's become the right hand of Stroud, I think Stroud's going to learn how to play in this offense again because he's been shaky at times. And I think once Collins comes back, it won't change anything. Smitty, flex spot, Gibbs, Mitchell, Colts, or Schultz. I'm going to go, or Gibson. I'm going to go, if Downs misses, I want Mitchell here. But I think we got to address this later, bro. Schultz is, there's a lot going on. Like, you know, what's Stevenson's status, etc. I'm gonna go Mitchell for now, but that's a risky call. Like, we don't really know, bro. Should I start Bigsby or Irving? I'm gonna go Bigsby. Bench Deontay. He's in my flex spot. Or should I bench Deontay? You mean start both of them? I think Deontay and Bigsby, as long as Deontay's playing. Lewis says, rate my squad, Smitty. Okay, bro, I'll rate your squad. Your squad is Smitty, running backs, Connor, Jacobs, Aaron Jones, Chubb, wide receivers, Chase, AJB, Cooper. I'm trading Cooper. I like your team a lot. I'm trading Cooper and Aaron Jones, or Cooper and Connor, or Cooper and Jacobs for a Brees, a freaking Gibbs, a Kamara, Kyron, even a Bijan, Jonathan Taylor injured. You need something at Achane. You need something. I want something at RB, and you have the flexibility. Cooper does not need to be on this roster if you can couple him with one of those running backs to get one of those guys. So you're going to have to throw a lot of mud at the wall until you get that done. Brandon with a $20 hauler gets immediate attention. Then a Bantos message I'll serve next. Jackson, Godwin. So Lamar Jackson, Godwin, MHJ, Monty, Pollard, Kraft, DJ Moore, Cup on the bench with Jonathan Brooks. What can I improve? I'd say, you know, Brooks and DJ Moore come to mind. Go get one of those RBs I just spit out. You know, from Gibbs to Kamara to Brees to Kyron to Bijan to Jonathan Taylor, even potentially. I mean, I'd trade Pollard and DJ Moore for JT, even waiting a week, whatever. Godwin and Pollard, I'd do that too. So throw those offers. Achane, obviously, and even Mason's a good before kickoff, or maybe even after kickoff. It just depends. But Mason would be a good go get. He's a good sell, and he's also a good go get. He's not somebody to run from. It's just it matters what your angle you're coming from. Okay, Olave, Wicks, Mixon, or Aaron Jones. Olave and Wicks, Mixon, or Aaron Jones for my neighbors or Amon-Ra. Olave and Wicks and Mixon or Aaron Jones. No, I don't like any of those sides. Keep neighbors and Amon-Ra. It's not even close. Purdy or Cousins? It could be a good day for Purdy, I'll be honest. But I think you go Cousins, but it could be a good day for Purdy. This could be one of those 3 TD games. I'm not saying it will be for sure. The Niners are kind of hard to read right now. They're in shambles, but they're also capable of just having a big day. Like they're bleeding talent. They're absolutely bleeding talent. What do we say, Chad? Brees for MHJ. Brees by quite a bit, my guy. Isaac with the $20 holler. Isaac to Mars.
To Mars!
First and foremost there, Isaac. Okay, is this game started? Do I even have the right channel on? Let me just make sure, because sometimes I have the kickoff on, and what channel is it on? Is it Prime? I always forget. And then it switches over, the kickoff show switches over, and all of a sudden I look over and I see an old game playing. I'm like, holy shit, I'm live. I need a TV person and I need a lineup setter. There we go. There it is. Okay, I'm live. Receiving trade offers for Bijan. Would you rather have Chase for Bijan straight up? Of course. Isaac, come on. Or Jacobs in London for Bijan. Jamar Chase by a 10,000 miles. It's not even close. Yeah, not even close, bro. London and Jacobs don't hold a candle to Jamar Chase. Very, very good trade. If you pull that off, I kind of think maybe you're just cooking up ideas, because if that was an offer, man, you're smoking that person. They're never gonna trade with you ever again. Ever again. They won't want to trade with you ever again, my guy. They'll say, stand down. Let me see if I can get to a couple of my leagues right now, because I can't do this anymore. I can't do 10,000 leagues anymore. It's just not feasible. Let's see, this team's pretty good too. What do I got? My team, I've got Lamar. I've got so many people on a bye this week. Got Kyron on a bye. I got Hunt on a bye. Debo's in there, good. Mason's in there, good. That's all I needed to check. And then Miss Smitty's league. Oh, I can't let that one go. I gotta be respectable in that league. I've been hit with injuries left and right in Miss Smitty's league. It's been awful. It's been such a bad amount of luck. Okay, Worthy's on a bye. Let me look at my team here. God, I got so many players on a bye. All I got to worry about, who's on the bench right now? Who's on the bench?
Motion detected at the front door.
Okay, nobody that's playing now, so I'm good. All right, we got another Super Chat games kicking off right here. They're lining up. Got offered Debo and Singletary for Achane. I'd rather have Achane. Achane, bro. I don't hate the other side. Like, if you did it, I wouldn't make you take a lap or anything, but I'm not trading Achane. Achane is going to be a serious league winner. Who's at the front door? I don't know. Ziggy, show me the front door.
Okay.
It's usually the mailman about this time. Ziggy off. All right, guys. Kickoff has commenced. I'll see you all after the show for the reaction show. Live Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, every single Monday through Friday. Appreciate you. Live when big news breaks. See you all after the show for reactions.